Jason Ryles, we have got the talk because there are some big problems at Paramount at the moment, and today I'm going to be talking about those problems. And also, the main point of this video is reviewing the Easter Monday match between my Parramatta and the West Tigers. I just got back from the game. I've got a lot of emotions. I've had 40 minutes to get home and think about it, but I'm right home. Let's get straight into this. Let's just get underway with the main thing, and at the end, we'll talk about what I started off with saying about some things Jason Ryles needs to personally hear and some changes that need to be made. But look, let's just get straight to more about the game. It was disappointing. We went 10-0 up. We looked pretty good. And the Tigers, just after a little mistake from us, the Tigers just had all the momentum, and then from then on, so I'd say for most of the entire game, except for little bits at the end of the game, they were in full possession. They were the much better team. They brought it to 18-10 at half time, and what didn't help at all was you had more and more injuries throughout the game. Pezzett, Simonson, and we ended up playing we had one guy left on the interchange that we could bring on. Because everyone else was injured. We were playing two hookers. We were playing De Silva and Smith at the same time, which is ridiculous. We had halfbacks playing wing. We had players playing where they probably shouldn't be. You had this halfback, I can't remember his name, who is supposed to be one of the next big talents. He came on to replace Somerton, and he played on the wing, which is not his position. He scored 2 tries right in front of me as well. And at the very end, I'm going to show you a whole bunch of clips. I'm going to play them all because it was a really great atmosphere. But look, on an overall team standpoint, and what I was saying, the Tigers dominated, and that's just the truth. The only time they did not dominate was when they had that sin bin at the end of the game, and we were able to come back. Genuinely, it was just really bad. It was a bad performance. There were a lot of poor moments, a lot of poor things that we need to improve on. I'm going to talk mostly about that in my next segment. Then you just had the simple things, like tackling. Tackling just anyone on the field for us seems like it's really hard. But good thing is, it's really good tackling on the line when they're very close to scoring a try. But personally, I think, yeah, okay, cool, that's good. But we shouldn't be at that point where we should, that's the only good thing. We should be able to make tackles way beyond that and make it much easier for ourselves. And that's one of the main things, we're not making it easy for ourselves. We're making it much harder than it should be against any of these teams. They're not down by the Tigers all saying, although they're a really bad team. They're not the best team. And I agree they are probably better than us at the moment. But there's a little bit of me that thinks we're still a better side, but unfortunately we're just not playing like it. Some players are just not playing at the level. Moses has been a little poor, I'm just going to be honest. We can't kick conversions, it's a big problem. We kicked most of them, we would have won. Then there's just decisions of who players coming in. At the start, during the off-season, we barely brought in anyone. We just brought some players who are, to be honest, not super good and just sit on the interchange or play New South Wales Cup anyway. 22-20 lost in Golden Point is always upsetting. The way it happened as well. Offside they completely shanked it, and then it was called offside because Dylan Walker. And I don't want to talk too much about that because even though I was at the game, I haven't seen a replay of it yet. And I was completely confused at the game with the reason for until I read about it. But I haven't personally seen that in a clear view for myself, so I can't make a full decision if I thought it was offside or not. But if it is offside, it does seem like it was probably the correct decision. But then you also got the argument between was he really stopping playing that? Was he involved in that? Originally, most people thought that he was because of a tackle, a late tackle, but I don't believe there was a tackle in there at all. But that was the main one, that gave them the win. And then we had the lead, and then right before it went to Golden Point, they got a penalty right in front as well. There's a bit of me that's also a bit annoyed with the referee, and I didn't want to fully crash and say, oh, the referees are in it. But they are, referees in just any sport are starting to make it definitely less enjoyable. And you can agree or not and say, oh, you don't really think that. I genuinely do. Going to these games, it's not as fun when the referee is kind of just ruining it. There were just some really bad calls. There were some calls that just didn't make any sense. And there were some alright calls, but you got to focus on the positives as well. But you know what, in a life like this, you mostly will focus on those negatives. It was overall, I'll sort of, just on Parramatta's performance, it was disappointing. It was disappointing. We had opportunities to win. I think we always have an opportunity to win, and we somehow still blow it. It's just kind of what happens, and you gotta feel bad for people like Moses, later in their career now, and they're probably not going to win a premiership. Their time when they had that opportunity is gone unless he leaves to a different club. Because we don't look like we're premiership material. We don't even look like we're going to make the top 8 this season, which is really unfortunate because I had a lot of hope for us, and we've just been really poor. But now, the final thing I'm going to talk about is what I started off with saying, and what the title of this whole video is, Jason Ryles, we have to talk. And this is just some of the things, the main issues, that as someone who, I'm not saying I'm a genius or anything, but as just someone sitting in the crowd, someone watching these games, just can watch that, and I can just say that's the problem. And so this is what, somehow Jason doesn't see that, so let's go over it. Jesus Christ, dog. Okay, the first one is the biggest one. Josh Adokar cannot jump and catch. Catching is alright, but then consistently they will target Josh Adokar where they just chip it up, and then they win the ball off him because he's not going up for that catch. They continue to target him, they continue doing that, and they're not going to stop doing that. They realise that's what the problem is, and Jason has done nothing to fix it. It is consistently happening, it is consistently a big problem for us, and Jason Ryles has not done a thing about it, and that is a problem. Then you also got Brian Kelly. He's supposed to be there protecting, helping out a car, but he might be even more useless when it comes to that, because he is honestly one of the worst players I have seen. And I know I'm just after the game, I know I'm angry, but it was poor, and especially today, we're going to get into it, just simple mistakes he made. It is awful. It shows why he played for the Gold Coast Titans. He is not on a level that is good enough for Parramatta. It's not good enough. It's really not good enough. Jason Ryles, open your eyes. Realise that first properly. Second, get you guys to practice more catching. It's a simple one. Catch the ball. Multiple times, if we didn't drop the ball last minute or do any of that, we could have gone on and won the game today. Brian Kelly was the first one. Just such an obvious, easy opportunity, and he dropped it. My grandmother, with her eyes closed, could have caught that. I could have caught that. And my ability is not so good, but I could have caught that. And that is a problem. Work on that. Brian Kelly, especially, work on that. Dropping everything. Other players, you're not also safe either. You got to work on that. Jason Ryles, as the coach, you need your team to work on that. Third point, I've got 4 points to talk about. Mitchell Moses. He is a man who's one of our best players on the team, and I'm not going to doubt that. But his kicking game is not good enough. His conversion kicking game is definitely not good enough. He can barely kick from the sides, which is a problem, because we're not going on to go win these games because he's missing the conversions. Second of all, when we get in that fifth tackle, and he needs to kick it forward, he just kicks it straight to Buller. Straight the Buller. This entire game. On fifth tackle, straight the Buller. Straight the Buller. Do something different and quick. Make it spiral like you've done before. Make it go really high up. And the rest of the players, go. Put pressure. Challenge that. Try and win the ball. Because there is none of that we are seeing from Parramatta. None of that. And these other teams, they know that. They know that. So they keep on doing it. Final point. It might be because I'm slightly biased. But sorry, Parramaxi, Riley Smith is not even the best hooker at Parramatta. Because that is Taylor the Silva. He might be my favourite player. Since he joined last year, favourite player, random choice. But he's been scoring tries. That Dragons game, he was spectacular. He came on, he played decent today. Obviously, it was a bit weird because we had 2 hookers playing at once. He's such a good player. He is such a good player. He is better. He is better than Riley Smith. And I will say that to my grave. I think he is better than Riley Smith. And I think he needs to start. It's the right choice. Just make it. Thank you, Jason Ryles. Someone share this to him. Someone share this to your biggest Parramatta fan. Let me know if you agree. Because I think these are the 4 things we need to work on. 4 things. So let's do it. This wasn't much of an editing video. This was more of just a rant. But it was something that needed to happen. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a lovely day. I don't even know if I want to go to the next week game against Titans. We need those changes to be made. We need to be a better club. If we want to really challenge. My voice is hurting. I'm going to go to sleep. Maybe eat some ice cream. Cheer myself up. Good night, guys. Subscribe, because we're on the road to 1K. So, become an OG. Join up. See you guys.